there is something to learn from people who have gotten divorced. They can tell you what went wrong. Right. You know what I mean? They can help. They've learned some things, right? But
just because they had multiple divorces don't mean they don't know nothing about relationships. Exactly. Right. They've learned stuff. They picked up stuff. Right. Now, but at the same time, just because someone who been married for 60 years don't mean they know everything about relationships.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You really got to find it out for yourself. That's really what this is about.
Right.
Finding out who you are and finding out for yourself what's going to make it work for you and your family.
Right.
You hear me?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Said Entertainment. I'm asking y'all to check out the Loveology podcast. This is...
Hello, and welcome to the Loveology podcast, where we talk about love and life with laughter. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jason.
He's the carefree one.
She's the serious one. And we're married. We have been since 2012, and we like to think of ourselves as a couple of loveologists.
Not because we are the experts, but because we just love love.
We enjoy studying and talking about it, so we thought, let's just start a podcast.
A place where we can share what we have learned about love, relationships, and marriage.
You can share what you've learned, and we can all grow together.
So here we are. Are you ready?
Let's get started. Hey, what's up, world? It's another episode. You know what it is. It's the Loveology podcast. We're here yet again. Once again, thank y'all for joining. We are coming today, repping live in effect. What's up, baby girl? How you doing?
Good.
You're good?
Yes.
Are you feeling good? What scale of 1 to 10? What you doing?
7.
A 7? That's a good number. 7 is a number of completion. So you feeling completed today. I heard that. Well, I feel good, especially I got a new hairstyle that I really don't too much care about, but it's all love. No, I do like it. It's something different. I want to do something different. So my stylist, I said, do something different. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all can check it out, text me out. Look at it.
Yeah, y'all let us know what you think. At first it was like sticking up and stuff, but he put his do-rag on and now it's like laying down, so I like that better.
Yeah, kind of remind me of Killmonger in Black Panther a little bit. You know, he had the little parts hanging over.
Yeah, no.
Is that what he say? Is this your king? What's up, auntie? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. So we're at it again, baby girl. We at it again.
Yep.
You know what? I did want to give a shout out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Before we get started, to Miss Jada Davis. What's up, Jada D, man? We really appreciate it, man. Jada Davis sent us over some dope shirts because obviously my wife matches my grind. You know what I'm talking about? And then
he matches my grind.
I match your grind?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, I finally made it, y'all. Because if y'all rewind back a couple of episodes, you know, this past season, I don't know, I was still catching up. I guess I still am. You know what I'm saying? This what this is all about. But, you know, you want to go check out some of her shirts. She got some cool shirts on there. You go to grindmatch.com. Again, that's grindmatch.com, and you can rock some of these dope shirts like this. And one of the things that says shut up and keep grinding. So yeah, don't feel all down and about if you don't reach where you want to reach. You know, it takes time. You'll get there. Shut up and keep grinding. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
All right, baby girl. Yeah. What are we doing today?
We are doing something really fun. I really enjoy this. We've done this once before.
Yes.
Because the last time we did it, it was our 1-year anniversary of the Loveology podcast. So now we are celebrating our 2nd year.
That's number 2.
Yes. We've been doing this for 2 years. And so, you know, I really love to reflect. I think reflection is important, especially since we're coming out of this pandemic. This kind of lines up, you know, perfectly as the world is opening up. Well, yes. I'll say America, because some parts of the world was kicking it the entire time.
Was they? Who was that?
New Zealand.
They weren't kicking it the entire time.
Man, they wore masks like right away, and they didn't hardly have any cases at all.
It's an island.
They was kicking it, you know, months ago. I saw a picture of them at concerts and everything.
You know why? Because it's an island.
I know.
And not too many people travel there.
Of course.
I
know.
Especially
but I'm just
from the COVID hit stricken areas. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I feel you.
Yeah. But the point is that America we're opening up LA in June 15th. We're just gonna be.
Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, it's just back to normal, I guess.
Right in time for Juneteenth celebration.
That's right.
Yep, and my birthday. Shout out to all the Geminis out there. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes, Jason's
Gemini
birthday.
season is in the house.
Y'all, crazy people.
Is that what y'all call us?
What is? Isn't y'all sign a split personality or something? Twins?
Yeah, man, we gotta watch it. we always got each other back.
Yeah. So yes, it's good to just like sit back and, think about, whoa, look what we just came through.
Yes.
Do some reflecting, thinking. And I mean, so the past 12, 11, 13 months has been, very crazy.
Yes.
And me and Jason went through a lot of changes, and, the podcast, we did something really cool. We are now on YouTube. We,
that was this year.
Did a visual component now. We do a visual component of the podcast. So that was a major thing that we started.
It's a lot more work too. You know what I'm saying? To get in front of you guys. You know what I'm saying? My baby just don't. I mean, I guess you do. I wake up like this. She wake up like this, but I gotta do a little bit something to put myself together. You know what I'm talking about? So it's a little bit more work.
Okay. What do you mean? Like, I'm missing it.
I'm saying you're beautiful. You wake up beautiful.
Thank you.
But for me to get to look how I look, you know what I'm saying, it takes a little
Jason
bit more time.
wake up like that too. So basically we want to talk about some of our favorite episodes over this past year of doing this podcast, and and then talk about a little bit, what's more to come, some of the biggest lessons that we learned over this year, because like we say all the time, we're no experts, we're learning.
Yes.
We're just inviting you all to learn with us, because this podcast has definitely helped us out a lot.
And if you don't believe that, just go back to the first few episodes and just hear how, especially me, how I was conversing, some of the things that I was doing, I don't do them anymore, because I understand how to really work our relationship. Now it may be different from y'all, but our relationship, we have a specific, certain way that we flow, and that's the whole point. Learn how to flow with your significant other, and it'll make everything go a little bit better. Some people may have to do a little bit more work, but in the whole grand scheme of things, everybody benefits.
Yep, absolutely. So, like we did last time, we will play a little audio clip from some of those favorite episodes, and we're just gonna talk about them briefly.
We're gonna go back in time, y'all. Y'all ready to go back in time? But before they go back in time, I do want to give a shout out to our top country. So if you don't mind, let's give a shout out to the people.
I can't wait to hear this. Jason won't let me see.
Well, if you don't mind, let's give a shout out to our people that listen to us. We want to give back. It's all about love, y'all. You talking about? So obviously, United States, not necessarily obviously, but United States is the top one, is the number one country. But we want to give a shout out to number 2, number 3, and number 4, and we just call them 1, 2, and 3. All right. So for our number 3 country that listened to us for this particular past week is Australia. So shout out to Australia.
Hi, Australia.
Hello, Mike.
I saw a picture of that pink lake.
Hello,
Did I talk
Mike.
about this before?
Yes, you talked about it before. And there's bacteria. If I'm, if
yes,
from
I remember.
Australia, correct me if I'm wrong, but some type of bacteria. You know what I'm saying? It makes it pink like that. Number 2, coming in at number 2 is the UK.
Hi, UK.
Yeah, hello, Tot. Get some tea. You know what I'm saying?
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they just had a baby.
Oh,
They had a little girl.
Nice.
That's so
Shout out to
sweet.
them. And shout out to Ashley's sister that's over in UK.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to keep pushing out there, but appreciate it for wearing your shirt or whatever that's getting those people to listen. You know what I'm saying? And our number 1 country right up under the United States is India.
Hi, India.
Shout out to India. I appreciate you, India. Thank you. I really love how the India culture is, especially when it comes with relationships. You know what I'm saying? So I think we can learn a lot from India. I think they have the number 1 as the lowest divorce rate in the world. So they got something right.
You know what? We're going to talk about this actually in this episode, because I think it has something to do with the way that they get married.
Yep. I so believe it.
Go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say they could let us know.
Yeah.
But I was watching this docu-series called Indian Matchmaker. And, I'll talk about it later.
Okay. Okay. And I just want to give a shout out to since the United States is number one, but let's break it down to states, our top 3 states that's listen to us, and we definitely appreciate it. So number 1, and these are all homes of us. All 3 of them are all homes of us. So number 1 is California. So shout out to Cali. You know what I'm saying? We're all living here now.
Cali love.
California love.
Okay.
California. Okay. And then the next point is don't mess with Texas. Shout out to Texas being number 2. Dallas is where I was born. I spent my first 9 years of life in Dallas, so it's a home.
We will probably retire to Texas.
Who knows? Might be Hawaii.
We don't know.
It might be Belize. It might be India. Who knows where we're going to go? Who knows? Where do y'all want to go retire to? Let's hit in the comments. And our number 1 home that listened to us the most this past week is, it says this is for lovers. What
Virginia.
So shout out to VA. We appreciate y'all for having us when we lived in Virginia. The 7 cities was in Chesapeake. So man, we thank y'all for listening. So without further ado, let's get on with today's episode. Let's go back in the past.
Yes,
y'all.
let's do it. So one of the first episodes that we did coming out of our first year of the podcast was talking about forgiveness. And forgiveness is just like so important, right? You can't be in a relationship if you can't forgive, because that person is definitely going to mess up.
Everybody mess up. You mess up, I mess up.
Yeah, sometimes you have to forgive yourself when you mess up. So forgiveness is just super important. But one of the things that we learned a lot during that episode and during the research was this idea that just because you forgive somebody does not mean that you will trust them immediately.
Right.
Okay. So let's play the clip, Jason.
And I'm going to take y'all back with the
It will be. So Dr. Chapman gives an example about people speaking to him when they say, I think I've forgiven my spouse, but some days I feel like I haven't because I really don't trust him. He said this struggle comes because they are confusing forgiveness and trust is 2 totally different things.
Yes.
If you
can forgive him for the action, but you just still don't trust that he's gonna do the right thing in the future. Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, I think this is so important to clear up, because if you are the person who offended the partner or cheated or made the offense, the offender,
right?
You may feel like your partner has not forgiven you because they don't trust you.
Right.
It's like, no. So it maybe is good for you to know this too, that just because they want to see evidence of that they can trust you again, it doesn't mean that they haven't forgiven you.
Right.
They have. They just, their trust is broken.
Right. So their trust is broken.
Yes, we're back, by the way, for our audio listeners.
That was back in May 3rd. So, the pandemic, we're live in effect in the pandemic last year. So 2020. So what you about to say, love?
Yeah. So, again, forgiveness. Like, I think that a lot of people, like I said in that clip, you want to, if you're the person who messed up, you want to rush to trust, right? And it's like, no, you got to do that one day at a time. But just because a person doesn't trust you doesn't mean that they haven't forgiven you.
Right.
And we talked extensively in that episode about the fact that those things are 2 different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And if you want to check that video out, go check it out right there.
So yes, like Jason said, the pandemic happened and we started to kind of try to do some episodes that we felt like would really help people during this time. And money is always an issue.
Money
right?
is always an issue. It is.
So
unless even when you got it, money is an issue. Like even if for the rich, money is an issue. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of communication, a lot of navigating. So we definitely wanted to hit on that because lots of people were getting laid off, right? So we wanted to really do an episode about how to communicate about money. The first year of this podcast, we had an episode called Coins and Commitment, and it was more like, kind of logistical, like how many bank accounts should you have, and talking about things like, you shouldn't hide money from each other, and not judging the other person on what they want to buy just because you may think is ridiculous. That's what they want to do. So learning how to navigate that. So these for this year, we decided to do 2 episodes, and it was based on a book called The Heart of Money.
Heart of Money.
And we were discussing, the different not personalities, but like the different types of money patterns that people have, and the fact that these things are based on your patterns are based on your childhood or previous experiences with lovers, which
I just like how you say pattern.
Leave me alone. And so actually, speaking of previous experience with lovers, that is what this clip is about. So those 2 episodes were episodes 57 and 58, and they were called "We Need to Talk About Money." So this clip is coming from episode 57, and Jason, let it rip. Okay, so here's one more. I feel like I work harder and harder to support our family, and you just keep spending more and more money.
No good.
Maybe you should become the bread.
No good.
Maybe you should become the breadwinner, and I'll stay home and shop.
No good. That's you're gonna get the opposite reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's the healthy example. Can we talk? I'm feeling sad and somewhat frustrated over our financial situation. Can we work together to create more of a savings plan? I really need your help with this.
Yeah, I like that.
That just worked out wonders with you.
Yes. Yes.
So actually my setup was a little wrong. My setup for that clip was wrong. But basically that was a clip where we gave a bad example. An example of how not to talk to your partner about money. And then I gave another example of a better way to approach your partner about money. Right. But the other part that I was speaking on, we can just speak on it a little bit since I set it up that way. Basically, like I said about the stories, in that episode, we talked about the fact that in past relationships, Jason has felt like he's been with some gold diggers.
Right.
And I didn't know until we read this book and had this podcast that is where that was coming from. Like he had a wound, and that's what the author called it, money wounds, right? And these wounds can trigger you. And that one just so happened to come from past experiences with girlfriends, right? Yeah. And we also talked about how my money wounds was from the fact that like I didn't grow up with a lot of money, and I was very aware that we didn't have a lot of money. Right. So anytime I don't feel safe financially, then I'm probably going to be triggered.
Right.
And I'm going to become emotional and all of this stuff. So those are, really great episodes, and you should definitely check them out. Like I said, I gave specific examples of like different scenarios and how best to approach your partner, how to communicate with them in regards to money.
Right. And you know what, I was just thinking about that money wound that you was talking about, how I don't like gold diggers and all that. Shout out to all the gold diggers out there, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing, keep hustling, keep doing your thing. That's what you want to do your thing. But what I'm saying is this is something I gave to Jordy and Isaiah. What you got to understand is, well, everybody got to understand, what you put out in this world is what you're going to get back in return. 100%. It doesn't, don't think it's just a cliche statement. Don't think that, the golden rule is, do unto others as you have them to do unto you. Like that's an option. No, that's what you should be doing because it's coming back. So the more you take away from somebody else, especially if you're doing it with the ill intent, somebody is taking away right out your back pocket. It may not be now. It may be later once you become older and more mature, that somebody going to get you. So make sure you do that. But how was I contributing? That's another thing. How was I contributing to these gold digger attacks? right?
Attacks.
Yeah,
That's a strong word.
How was I contributing to that? Well, and I ain't judging, you know what I'm saying? But in my mind, you know, I had the big rims, you know what I'm saying? The 22 inches spinning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had the screens falling, you know what I'm saying? I had the screens in the car. I had the I had the speakers bumping, you know what I'm saying? I had the chains, you know what I'm saying? So I was contributing to it to, hey, look at me, come here, look what I got. But then when somebody come over there and get a little nibble, I get mad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's what you flaunting, so.
You know what I'm saying? so I can't fault nobody. That's why I'm not judging gold diggers. I'm not judging hustlers. However you hustle, get your money. I'm not even gonna judge you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm doing is I'm putting it back on me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's on me. I'm the one that presented it out there like that, and so I had to open up myself for attacks. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know. So does it sound like that wound is closed?
Maybe. It's getting closer. It's getting closer.
A couple of days ago, I was just talking about the gold diggers. But that's what I'm saying. This podcast really have grown me throughout the years.
Yeah. So we had something really exciting happen too.
What?
Jason got a chance to talk to Ludacris.
Yeah, shout out to your boy Ludacris, man. He was promoting his album, and we really appreciate him and all he does. And I ain't want to just overcut you, but I was excited about it. I think I used some of my majestic powers to summon him to pick me up on his live, and he did, and we had a conversation.
Yeah, he was on Instagram Live just talking to his fans, and Jason got on there and somehow was the person that was picked to talk to Ludacris. He was like, I'm gonna talk to Jason Harris. What you got going on? You know?
Man. Yeah, man. It happened like that.
So, Jason asked him for some advice, and I think he gave some pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
I'm not mad at that, but I'm going to be honest with you, man. We're doing the podcast right now. You need to take the audio from what we got going on, and you can use it. So that's why I'm giving you the floor to ask some questions, and then you can put it on your podcast.
That's what's up, man. So, what advice can you give to our people, our young people out here about love and, life and family? What's some advice you can give to our people?
Man, the best advice that I could give is, man, not to live in the past, man. Like, everything happens for a reason. I said this the other day. I was like, man, you can only understand life in reverse, not going forward. So when you encounter these bumps and obstacles, don't get too down on yourself, man. Just continue to live life. You have the choice right now to be happy, no matter what your circumstances are. And you also have the choice to start thinking about what you're going to do in the future and how to affect change, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you, man. And just be somebody else's light. Call somebody and tell them you love them. You never know what they're going through right now. You can literally change the whole direction of somebody's day right at this moment, right after you get off this live, just by calling one of your family members you ain't talked to in a minute, just by hitting the homie. I ain't saying call people that owe you money or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm talking about hit somebody that you know, that you love, that you ain't hit in a minute, because you know how precious life is. And if this isn't an example of what's going on right now to teach you that life is precious and you got to live every day graciously and be thankful for what you do have, then I'm telling you, man, that's my best advice. It's people are way worse off than we are. It's people complaining about little stuff, and it's individuals out here without arms and without legs, and This Memorial Day, so you gotta salute and think about all the individuals that help fight for our country, and it's people that went and fought and is losing and don't have limbs, and we over here complaining about what? Come on, man.
Right.
That would be my advice. I could go on and on about that.
Right. And me and my wife, both
this for your podcast, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, man. So
that was pretty dope.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great advice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get out there. Me and my wife are both veterans as well. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to me and my wife for being veterans and standing up for this country. Ludacris, man, wise person. He said it, and sometimes these cliche statements are said so much that people don't really grasp what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's, I don't know, maybe you don't pay attention. You know how you hear a song? I'm that type of person. I hear a song, it's an old song. Then when I hear it when I'm older, and it's like, oh, I didn't know that's what they was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when they talk about hindsight is 2020, okay, you literally talking about the sight behind the hindsight behind,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sight is 2020. That's clear, perfect vision, right? But he said it the same thing. He said it makes sense when you live life in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
You're going in reverse. You're going, you know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's totally true. Totally true. And we're tripping about, all the stuff that we getting upset about. You got, I guarantee you there's more things to be excited and happy about in life, in your life right now, than there is to be upset about.
Yes, for
I
sure.
guarantee you. Mm-hmm. One main reason is you listening to this right now. You're alive. You see what I'm saying? The fact that you're alive it should be the biggest celebration in itself.
All right, preacher.
I'm just saying, every day you should be celebrating that you open your eyes, because your breath could have ended just like that while you were asleep.
Right.
So definitely on Memorial Day of 2020, we just had our Memorial Day, just last weekend, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So that was a pretty dope situation to get Ludacris technically on Instagram Live. But he allowed us to put what we said on the show.
Yes.
So good to have him on Loveology podcast. Shout out to Ludacris yet again. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you, sir.
So, we do try to give the single some love too in this podcast. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do as much of it this year, but I'm definitely going to
pandemic.
I mean, I just think it's because of all the changes that we went through. I went back to work. That was another thing that happened. Jason will talk about that a little bit. But yes, one of my favorite single special episodes that we did was talking about why you should date multiple people at one time. And
date, not have sex.
Yes.
But do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? We're not judging. But
dating without sex.
It's easier if you date to get to know a person without having sex. I'm just saying. You could be getting some demons that you don't want. You know what I'm saying? Got to get to know them. Sometimes it take some time to get to know somebody, but whatever.
Right. So let's hear a clip from that episode. That wasn't the turning point. The turning point was you seeing me with somebody else. You kicked it up a notch. You wanted to win. Which is what she said in this book too. She was like, dudes like to win. So you became territorial because you saw somebody else after me.
I got jealous, and we wasn't even nothing.
We was talking.
We was just barely talking.
We hadn't even went on a date.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The next day we went on a date.
Yeah, because you was like, oh man, she out here dancing with some other dudes.
Man, dancing, grinding. Grind on me. I said, oh no.
Yeah. So I was just, I had, and so a little backstory. If you're new to us, we've definitely told this story before, but I had been heartbroken twice. As I say, my heart was ripped out of my chest and stomped on. That's what it felt like. So I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not about to be, dealing with these guys. I am about to be super careful. Mm-hmm. So I decided that I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to go on dates with guys. I'm going to keep it light, casual. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm just not trying to be all emotionally connected. But there's this story that really helped me to see even further that it was okay for me to just go out and date guys. So I was working at a place where it was predominantly men working there. Mm-hmm. And there was an older gentleman that just, I would, talk to him. It was friendly. I'm country, so I'm friendly and smiling and grinning at everybody.
Skinning and grinning.
Skinning and grinning. And he just looked at me one day and he said, I will pay you $200 to go on a date with me. Like, we don't have to do anything. I just want the pleasure of your company. I said, what? Have I ever told you this story?
Yeah, you told me.
So, of course I declined because that just felt all the way wrong. But it was a gift actually that he gave me to say that phrase, the pleasure of your company. Because I was like, you know what, he right. It's like it made me feel it's like, yes, if somebody want to take me out, they getting the pleasure of my company. If they want to spend some money on a meal, I'm paying them with the pleasure of my company. I am that awesome.
But what about his pleasure, his company?
Listen, I didn't want a boyfriend. So I was like,
I would cut a shot right there.
yeah.
Pleasure of the company. Dang, I got to hear that. Every year.
I think that's important though, because some women do feel, bad, I guess, about like sometimes women don't really know how to like date, right? Multiple guys. And like, we're just getting to know each other. Now, of course, if you want to help pitch in and y'all going on multiple dates and now you want to pay for his meal as well because y'all are getting to know each other. Okay. But like, it's okay to date, multiple people at one time, without sex.
Without sex. But if that's what you want to do, that's on you. But we trying to.
That's what we're saying is without sex,
right?
And like, I mean,
we're not judging. We're not judging,
right? Yeah, but the purpose is to get to know a person before committing to them,
right?
And
y'all know once y'all have sex, especially y'all women, when she has sex, we go together now. No, because in that man's head, y'all don't go together, and it just complicates things.
Yeah, and like what I was about to say about Indian Matchmaker. They like do this, right? Like they have a matchmaker, and they actually take their parents on dates sometimes with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, like Bridgerton. Have y'all seen Bridgerton? Like who hasn't seen it besides Jason? Jason hasn't seen it, but I love Bridgerton. But, back in the day, that's dating, but they couldn't be like, they had to be within eyesight of like, chaperones or whatever, but they were dating and they weren't physically intimate with one another, but they were getting to know, they were courting. People don't court. They were courting each other and trying to see if they were a good match, but they just kept the sex out of it. So, I just think that's that we can do that. We can, that's the way that we should do it. And like I said, for me, I was kind of like a person that, I had never really like dated like that. And that story is the thing that kind of was like, you know what, I'm about to go out here and date. Because you know what, at the very minimum, they're getting the pleasure of my company. So that really helped me out a lot.
Hey.
A couple of other episodes that we wanted to just highlight, the Friends of the Opposite Sex episode. There was 2 episodes. I don't have a clip to play from that one, but
check it out when you get a chance.
Awesome. We need to, this is just such an important topic. We had really great conversations about the type of conversations you should be having with your partner.
Yes.
We don't believe that everybody should have friends of the opposite sex. It just depends
some
on the
people
couple.
It just depends on the couple.
Yes.
There's no blueprint. Just like there's no blueprint on how to run your life, right? The Bible, we're Christians, so we say the Bible is a blueprint, but there's no manual to specifically tell you each day what to do and how to do it to run your life as whoever you are. So the same thing, there's no blueprint or manual to tell how to run your relationship. Each person is different, and therefore your relationship is going to be different. We're kind of just giving some generalities, right? I don't know if that's a word, but we're giving some generalities, and we're letting y'all know how it's going with our relationship and what we do with us. That's all. We sharing this information in hopes that you can go search and find out, okay, maybe I can do certain things to figure out. First of all, I got to figure out who I am as a person. And once y'all figure out who y'all are, then together you can figure out what type of relationship y'all have and work to improve. Yeah. Because we all need improvement. Right. I don't care who your pastor that's been married for 50 years, your grandma that's been married for 70 years or however, right? Everybody still can improve, right? So nobody has a picture perfect relationship like they try to portray in the movies and all these celebrities. They're not picture perfect. Nobody has it. Everybody's working on each other.
Absolutely. So those were episodes 67 and 68. Jason and I are okay with having friends of the opposite sex, but we talked about some of the boundaries that we have put in place. and like I said, some of the conversations that we've had about it. Another one that I wanted to highlight, we did 2 series. No, we did like 3, I think. Love and Respect. That book was a very important thing for me and Jason and our relationship. And then we also did a series over covering a book called His Needs, Her Needs. Go check out those episodes. I mean, they're just really awesome. We learned so much. And then one of my other favorite episodes was how much should you share with your friends and family? So important. I think people severely underestimate like how big that can be, like how big of a negative impact that could be sometimes in a relationship if you're sharing too much. And one of the conclusions that we came to with that in that episode was you also just have to be very careful about who you're sharing your business with, and what type of advice are you taking from these people. Are you taking advice from somebody who has not successfully been in a relationship for a long period of time? You know what I mean? It's like there is something to learn from people who have gotten divorced. They can tell you what went wrong. You know what I mean? They can help. They've learned some things, right? But
just because they had multiple divorces don't mean they don't know nothing about relationships.
Exactly.
Right. They've learned stuff. They picked up stuff. Right. Now, but at the same time, just because someone who been married for 60 years don't mean they know everything about relationships.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You really got to find it out for yourself. That's really what this is about.
Right.
Finding out who you are and finding out for yourself what's going to make it work for you and your family.
Right.
You hear me?
Right. So that one is a really, really important one. I believe that's episode 88. So go check that one out. And Jason, you wanted to mention the one about our role reversal. You don't have do we have a clip to play?
I mean, role reversal, the episode right here. Go check that out. Bow. But man, real talk. And just when I want to do a whole nother episode on this, right, in itself. But it's a lot to deal with in a household. Right. And, you can hear about washing the dishes, whoever stays at home and does these things, or whoever sometimes work and do these things, whether it's cooking and cleaning, that's a lot of heavy lifting. And you can hear about it. You can call it nagging or whatever. But until you actually set foot into that position, it can be overlooked. And so ladies, a lot of fellas, they overlook and they really don't know what they're saying when they come home and they saying, hey, where's the food? You know what I'm saying? Where's the dinner? What you mean you had a dinner ready? You haven't been doing it all day. You've been at the house. You ain't been doing that. They don't know what they saying because they don't know what it's like to be in y'all's shoes. So when we did this role reversal, I really got a chance to be on the front line and be in this position of doing all this stuff. And I'm going to be honest. I'm a veteran, right? Ashley's a veteran too, but I'm a veteran, Air Force veteran. And I had 3 tours of Iraq. And I promise you, I'd rather go to Iraq and go to war than to do all those things to run a household by myself. That's hard, y'all. And a lot of the guys really don't understand how difficult it really is. So I really gotta really tap into that and really reach out to my people. I say fellas, but it's women that go out and work, and the men have to do a lot of the work too, right? So it just depends. Whoever is doing all that work at the house, man, if you're doing all that work at the house, go take a week break. I don't know if you can even do it, but take a week break and switch those roles. If that person got to take off of work for a week and not go nowhere, then that's just what it is. But they got to get in that role to fully understand, because by you talking and telling them how much and doing all this and that, just one momcation a week, that ain't gonna do it. They got to get in there. You know what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that later. But that was the episode. So one other thing, go ahead.
So it was episode 75, Parenting During the Pandemic, Our Role Reversal. That's the episode that we discussed this. And just briefly, what happened is I was a stay-at-home mom when the pandemic happened, when it started, and I had a job opportunity presented to me. And it was just too like crazy for me not to take that job because I was not looking for a job. It was presented to me, and it's in my field, and I'm still working that job now. And so, Jason decided, we decided together that I would take the job and that he would go on leave and take care of our 2 little beautiful children. And
not knowing what I signed up for.
So, because we were not comfortable sending our kids to daycare and things like that, so we wanted to keep it in the house. So Jason got a good taste. Good taste.
And she loved every minute of it.
Oh yeah.
I got to understand. But there's one more thing that I wanted to give a shout out to that we did, and that was having Cedric the Entertainer give us a shout out and all that good stuff. It was through Cameo, so shout out to them as well. But Cedric, he didn't have to do it, and he did it. So we definitely give a shout out to Cedric Entertainer. And it went a little bit something like this.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Sid the Entertainer. I'm asking y'all to check out the Loveology podcast. This is weekly, this podcast where the hosts, Ashley and Jason, what they do is talk about love, y'all, and life. And they do it with laughter and humor. But this was all about relationships and how one can get through the ills, the ups and downs of being in love, falling in love. And they got cool ways of navigating with common sense, approach to it. So this was the plague of dating, how hard it is when you want to break up, but you can't. What if you in an entanglement? Too soon? Well, you can get out with them. Listen to them, y'all. Y'all check out Jason and Ashley. All right, y'all. Real Talk, Loveology podcast. I'll
holler. So yeah, that was back when Will Smith and Jada Smith, they was going through their entanglement situation.
Well, they were already through with it. We were just finding out about it.
Yeah, exactly. And it just broke on the Red Table Talk. And when he said it, it was right that same week. That's why he was like, too soon. But yeah, definitely if you're in entanglement, holler at us. We got you. So shout out to Sid. Appreciate it again, sir. Appreciate you for all you do for all these decades. And we really appreciate him, one of the original kings of comedy.
Yes,
you hear me?
Yes.
So, baby girl, this was a great episode recap, man. Let me know what some of y'all favorite episodes. If these ones, some of your good episodes that you really liked or whatever. But what was some most memorable episodes for you, or what impacted you? Please type that in our comment section, please, below. And we're on our 3rd year, right? We started our 3rd year, 3rd season, however you want to look at it. And we're keeping going strong, y'all. So ain't no telling what's gonna pop up. She did have some things that she had in mind, and who knows what I might come out under my sleeve with. You know what I'm saying? I might summon some more celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm bringing all the A-listers. You hear me? So, anything else, love? While we
yeah. Well, I did want to say we do want to try to get some more couples. I've just been still adjusting to doing this and working and all of that. So we definitely want more couples and
just more
guests.
People and more guests in general.
More guests in general,
y'all. We trying our best. We had a couple of people lined up, and then just miscommunications, and then dealing with the kids and work. Yeah. It's just difficult, y'all. But we gotta speak properly and say, it is what it is, and we're gonna get it done.
Yeah. So I'm just looking forward. I'm definitely gonna do a single special pretty soon about ghosting. And what else did I say? The last episode I said I was gonna do some more stuff about like Jason said, the role reversal thing. We want to do an episode about the importance of growth when you're in a relationship, because you got to grow. Because if you don't, I don't know. Yeah. It's really rough.
It's hard.
So
you got to grow, man.
More great things.
Everybody got room to grow. Yeah. Everybody got room to grow. So work on what can you grow? What's that area in life that you can grow in? Yep. That can be that next step to push your relationship to the next level.
Yeah. So that's it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm still having a great time. So
all right. Yeah. All right, baby girl. Good 2 years in. Good job, baby girl. And we're gonna catch y'all next time. Peace out.
Bye.